maybe.
46 episodes, bud, but you got there, and I'm really proud of you.
Thanks, man. And then we can do that final bit of this whole thing, which is the transition.
Woo!
Transition.
Into being live.
True Believers. I wasn't sure if I was actually unmuted there for a minute. Want to make sure. True Believers, welcome to a very special Festivus episode of the Professional Casual Network presents. Wait, did I roll a wild?
Every week is kind of a Festivus episode, as you are always airing your grievances directly in my direction.
That's true. Accurate. Yep. I, of course, am the guy who sits in this chair. Oh, this is Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? Threw me off there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm the guy who sits in this chair. I am Chuck, and I am joined once again by the CEO, Editor-Chief, Supreme Ruler, and Reptilian Overlord of the Professional Casual Network. Tim, thanks for coming downstairs this week, bud. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Glad to be here. Glad to be back.
Yeah.
I'm happy to always be a part of the #1 side chick Marvel Crisis Protocol podcast.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Correctamundo. You know what that's from?
What?
Correctamundo.
Yes. So in League of
Spanish.
Legends, there's a character named Mundo. He goes where he pleases. He's like a big Hulk guy that throws axes.
God,
they've never
character designed specifically for you.
They've never done this skin, but I've suggested it many times. Is that they should make a skin of him where he's a teacher and call him Correcto Mundo. They have not followed up on this yet, but one day I feel like they will. I've been sending emails for 7 years about this.
Sure. Okay. It's American Splendor.
Oh.
The movie. Which I went in thinking it was going to be a superhero comic book movie, and I was very wrong.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot what that was for a minute.
Yeah. It has that guy.
Yeah.
Can't think of
Harvey
his name.
something or something Harvey.
Harvey Dent.
Yep.
Harvey Keitel.
Can we trust him? Dan, can you say that?
Can we trust him?
There we go.
There you go.
He's doing Batman already.
I got honey in my teeth, so it's not as bad. But there it goes.
Honey to the bee, that's you for me.
And Dan's here.
Hi.
Welcome, everyone. Tim, what are we talking about? You're the guy that rattles off what we're talking about.
So
I
I don't know.
I'd shave my chin because I really could do a good Wolverine today.
You really should shave just your chin. I love that look.
Yeah,
as
I
long
have
as
no
it's for
chin.
skin.
I did it for a while. I had mutton chops into a mustache.
Yes.
And I took out that center. I was like, hell yeah, Harley race style, like Motorhead, Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yes.
Like, fuck yeah. And then I remembered,
R.I.P. Lemmy.
I don't have a chin underneath this. This actually gives me a chin. So it just looked like a tiny little baby ball sack hanging from my face. I really hated
fair.
I
it.
don't remember what my chin looks like.
So,
Punchable.
It's been a while.
It looks punchable usually.
Probably,
Yeah.
the things that we are talking about this week on Wait Did I Roll a Wild is we are going to be discussing.
very special episode of Wait, Did I Roll a Wild?
We will be discussing some of the tactics cards that comes in the Juggs box.
Juggernaut.
The old tactical Juggs.
Yeah, I was told that there was tactical Juggs here.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
three.
Literally the only reason why I came.
We have three.
I come for Juggs.
3 tactical jugs?
3 tactical Juggs. To
Sometimes
Lord.
too quick, but we're still here.
Right.
Yeah.
3 tactical Juggs to go over. Chuck also had a great idea this week to go through and make some rosters of some models to keep in your keister, in your back pocket, to be able to pull out, whip out whenever you need to.
I feel like just saying Chuck had a challenge to make a roster for us was like, oh, how do I do that?
Yeah.
We don't usually play that way.
And then lastly, I think you have like a Christmas Wishlist style thing.
I do.
Also, we have this spanking brand new shirt that's super rad.
Woo!
You got yours?
Well,
Yeah, buddy. Actually, mine's right there if you want to hand it to me so I can actually hold it up.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
so Dan got a different color, which
Oh, that
apparently,
why?
yeah, they ship every single.
The official first piece of merchandise ever.
I have this one instead. That's
There it is, buddy.
different show.
The Wait Did I Roll a Wild terrible cosplay shirt.
I love it.
We have myself as MODOK. Go this way with it.
I was trying
We've
to point to
got
it.
Danny as Jane Foster Thor with the biggest arms in the world. We've got Tim as the Wiccan.
as the Wiccan.
As the Wiccan.
Not this weekend, but the
And
Yeah.
Dan, I think, is my favorite. Dan is Iceman. You might be asking yourself, how? He's holding a bucket of ice.
I love it so much. I'm even wearing the
The tallest man. in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, with
Tallest
my
member
big
of the
hair in
Professional
that
Casual
picture.
Network.
Yeah.
Well, widely known.
Widely known.
Yes. Very true. Very.
I think I ordered a purple one, so apparently it takes longer to print on purple.
Well, Chuck and I ordered the
quick,
same
can
color
I-
and size, so they came together, which was nice. Because just like Chuck
We love
and
coming
I
together.
always come together.
Yep.
I'm waiting for that line.
Real quick, before we get into this, the color purple.
Yeah.
Do you know people who say that purple is their favorite color?
No, but I have
Okay.
heard people say, well, yes. Actually, one of
daughter.
the pioneers of the Professional Casual Network, who gives us actually legitimately the majority of our good ideas, Justine, loves the color purple.
Okay.
What
that
you were
makes
gonna
me
say?
that makes me least
Justine
I hate
has all the best ideas.
She really does.
I hate everything about that statement. Okay. So I really like purple, and I used to say purple was my favorite color for like ever.
Yeah.
And then I met people who actually have the color purple their favorite color, and it's part of their identity.
Yes, it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like they are obsessed with it. They work it into literally everything. Everything they
Yep.
own has some. And then I realized that I don't love anything in my entire life like people who say that their favorite color is purple of purple. I'm pretty sure it's a cult. I'm not totally sure, but I'm pretty much there for it.
It's one of those weird, like, completely dispersed cults. They don't have, like, purple meetings, but you
That
know
we're aware
they
of.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair. Because purple's not my favorite color.
Right.
My favorite color is blue.
Yeah, it makes
And I feel like people whose favorite color is blue don't give a shit about other people whose favorite color is blue.
Well, because here's the thing. Now, so like, listen up. Here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night, and
I was
everything he
waiting.
sees is
Yeah.
just blue, like him, inside and outside,
Yeah.
Blew his house
with a blue little window,
and a blue Corvette.
and everything he sees is blue, to himself and everybody around, because he ain't got nobody to listen to.
You all think it's cute. I know. You're sitting there watching this on YouTube or listening to the podcast, and you think, God, I love Tim. I think he'd be my favorite. I think he would probably be my friend. It's not. It gets old really fucking quick, I promise.
It's not just on the show. It's all the time,
all
always.
the time. You can't get away from it. It is a curse on our life.
Here's the thing, and here's why it really is a curse. Not only do I repeat the same jokes constantly, I stop hard, cold turkey, as soon as it gets to the point where it is now part of your brain and you start saying it too.
Yes.
Then I can move on and figure out something else to infect you with, repeatedly hitting you over the head with like a brick.
We've
Until
been
you
saying
start
here's the
doing it
good news for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yep.
Do you know what it's like when I was trying to tell my mom about who Dormammu was, and I said to my mother, Dormammu milkers? Do you know that I had to explain to her what mommy milkers was? That's not a conversation I like to have with my mother, Tim.
He succeeded.
I shout out Mama Shaw, fan of the show.
Yeah. If you're listening from the kitchen, because I'm making an egg sandwich. Shout out. All right, what the hell are we talking about tonight? You've ruined my Christmas. Go ahead.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, so we can jump right into the.
So this is
Juggernaut
actually going to be a fun episode. I actually have I didn't even know this was a thing.
So we
We
got
posted them on Monday, I believe.
we got 3 cards, and we had seen the "Do You Know Who I Am" card previously, which is and I'll just jump right into that. These are all unaffiliated, 1 reactive,
Nice.
2 actives. First up is "Do You Know Who I Am?" And it is a Juggernaut card where he may spend 3 power to play this card, choose an interactive terrain feature or an enemy character, both of size 4 or less and within range 2 of Juggernaut, and throw it long. Real nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Big fan.
When you want to hit a Hulk with another Hulk,
Throw White Dwarf or Black Dwarf into Hulk,
yes.
or
Yes.
vice versa.
I mean, if you're having trouble with any of those convocation characters, the way to get around that is by throwing a Hulk into them.
Absolutely.
Especially if they're going to be running like the Defenders affiliation or something along those lines.
Can you
It's
throw
great.
Dormammu?
No, he's size 5.
Okay. I couldn't remember if he was size 4 or size 5.
But then you might think, well, doesn't Juggernaut have a throw? Only on his injured side. And then he could throw twice in 1 turn with that if he wanted to.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is just, there's enough stuff around to throw.
Correct.
If he hasn't smashed it to pieces yet by charging around.
Now, do we know his throw on his injured side, was that only terrain or was it terrain and people?
I think it's both. I don't know. I can see if it's in Assemble yet. I don't know.
We can go to fan and not sponsor of the show, MCPDB.
Which is just super useful.
Oh my gosh, yes it is. And
thank you, people that make MCPDB.
Just type in Jug.
There he is.
We will see on the injured side the avatar of Sidorak. Yeah, he can throw enemy characters.
But size 3 or less.
And only medium.
So the is that also 3 power?
It is.
So the card is just better. But it makes sense that it's better for the same power because it's one time per game.
Correct. Yep. So yeah, so that's card number 1. Tons of fun. I love it. I guess I don't know why you wouldn't take that. More throws, more fun.
So, but okay. So I'm gonna call your bullshit on that for a minute.
Okay.
You very regularly say you don't like taking cards that are very specific to one character. That you struggle with that as a concept because it is limited to one character.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Right.
For sure.
You literally just said, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to take that every time.
I said that I struggle with picking character-specific cards, absolutely. But most of the cards I pick every week are specific either to the affiliation or characters on.
Oh, affiliate. No, well, hold on. Affiliation-specific cards is much different than a character-specific card.
Yeah.
You very rarely ever take character-specific cards unless it's, I don't know, Scarlet Witch. I don't know. I don't watch the show.
I mean, yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
That you don't watch the show because I try to throw them in wherever I can.
Yeah, I'd say this one is definite take when Juggernaut's on your roster.
Yeah.
Because you're going to use it every game that he's in. Like there's very rarely going to be a time where you aren't going to be able to use this card during a game.
100%. If the Juggs are on the pod or the squad, I'm going to be absolutely using this tactical card.
All right.
Here is one though that it's a throw.
There's one thing Tim likes more than he doesn't like taking character specific cards is throwing ever.
Yeah, 100%. Just hawking shit.
Is there am I wrong? Did we see a tactics card that makes a character immune to collisions? Or am I thinking of something else?
Brace for impact.
Brace for impact?
Not immune to it, but they won't take damage from it.
Okay, I mean, yeah, brace for impact. Are you going to get butt hurt that someone's going to use brace for impact against
No,
this?
I try to bait it out ahead of time.
Yeah, fair.
That's normally
my
my goal is to bait out brace for impact as early as possible when it's not on the line because people are usually just so hopped up on using it.
I mean, now that I know that you have that in your back pocket,
yeah,
it's cheese in your jeans.
Yeah, call it a hot pocket.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably wait to hold on to my brace for impact.
Yeah,
just so I can make you feel like you wasted your life.
Especially when you're throwing size 4. That's a few and far between.
Do you know how in danger Doc Ock is right now? Like this is really bad.
He's days from this card.
Very legitimately.
Yeah.
So and the important thing is too is the way I play that either someone holding brace for impact for me to use that and letting me get every other throw in the meantime, or spending it early. I kind of win either way, so I'm kind of super about it. It's part of the mental game with that throw. That's why I love that card on the roster. You know what I mean? Like it has so many applications.
Anytime you get another throw,
yes,
it's another source of damage. It's another source of potentially taking somebody off of an objective.
And even if I never use it, you're not going to put Hulk near Juggernaut because you know that I have this.
Yeah, true.
You're going to keep your size 3s and 4s away from Juggernaut because you don't want them to get fucking spacked. So, yeah, I adore this card. And especially with a long throw. Throwing Hulk or someone like that long.
It's so far. Because, like, MODOK has. The only other long I can think of.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's so far.
So, a non-specific Juggernaut card is another one that's going to come in his box called Versatile Strategy. This is also unaffiliated and is an active. An allied character with an active leadership ability may play this card. You may choose a non-active leadership ability of an allied character in your squad that corresponds to your squad affiliation. The chosen leadership ability is now active instead of the current leadership ability. All effects of the original leadership ability expire. There's only a couple affiliations or factions kind of as a whole where this really pulls some serious weight. And it's X-Men and Avengers. Cabal, really not as much, I don't particularly feel. But being able to swap those things mid-game, to have your Steve Rogers Avengers affiliation switch to Sam, or to Hulkbusters is awesome as shit.
I like the
Absolutely
idea of
awesome.
switching from Steve to Sam partway through. Once you start
Yes.
getting dazed and KO'd, getting Sam's ability, but having the cheaper superpowers earlier in the game
Correct.
makes a lot. When you don't have as much power built up yet, makes a lot of sense to me. When I first read this card, I was like, why would you ever want to do this? And then we were talking about it in one of our chats, and that particular one came up, and I was like, I like that one.
Yeah. Using Steve Rogers early. You know what I mean? Having that power reduction when you're moving people around, getting your cheaper Hulk jumps and stuff like that to put people into position. And then switching to Sam Spam once damage actually starts to be thrown out. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be in everyone's list. It may not even be considered good or meta,
I think it's
but
too
I love
early.
it. Yeah.
There's just like what Brotherhood, Avengers, Cabal,
And X-Men.
and X-Men.
Those are the ones I can think of off the top
They're
of
like
my head.
yeah, like 4.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's
do-
only a matter of time before we see multiple affiliations
Correct.
or multiple leaders for affiliations.
Oh,
so.
Web Warriors.
Yes. Yep. Web Warrior.
So I could see Web Warriors.
Well, and that's actually that point right there is actually super valid because I feel like as time goes on, this card will get more valuable.
Yeah.
As affiliations get more leaders, this card gains in power and strength kind of over time.
I could see Web Warriors. I mean, starting off with what's his nuts is Miles. Starting off with Miles, just trying to be tanky as possible, and then so wait, can you flip back?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what Amazing Spider-Man's leadership is.
You get to throw out slow tokens, and then you can cash them in and move the person like range one or whatever.
yeah.
right. Okay, yeah.
An allied character with an active. Okay. So like also if you know, like let's say you have Miles who's fragile as hell
Yep.
is about to die,
He
play
doesn't
this
even
card.
need to be about to die. He can be dead.
No, it
You
says
just no.
with
you
an-
need an allied character. Oh, you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
It's
Yep.
with an
during their
active, right.
activation.
Yeah, you have to pass it off, so you
Right.
can't wait till they're dead. No. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I do
You're
really
right.
like that this card doesn't cost power
Yeah.
or anything. You just do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as
But
it's your
it
turn.
doesn't. It doesn't say you have to. It doesn't say when you have to play it, so you could realistically play it whenever, right?
What's active?
As
So
long
it's
as it's
during
on
your
your turn.
activation. That's it.
Oh, an active with an active leadership.
It's an active card versus a reactive.
Oh,
so it has to
yeah,
be-
that word. Okay, that yep, that makes sense.
So the third card that's going to come in the old Jugger box is Making a Ruckus.
I love the title of this one.
Yeah,
Making
same.
a ruckus.
Well, so I know the "Do you know who I am" reference. What's the "Making a Ruckus" reference? Was that like a thing in the comics he did?
I don't know if it's a direct reference to anything.
Oh.
I think it's just a fun line. He may have said it at times.
I would have preferred Dazzler's #1 fan personally. That's me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the Dazzler box has not come out yet. We don't know the tactical jugs that are going to be in that, so there very well could be a Juggernaut card.
I really hope we get a Dazzler soon.
Yeah.
I want a '90s X-Men arcade game Dazzler with the
So-
with the rogue jacket,
Yes.
See, I would rather have like roller skate Dazzler personally.
just like her first appearance. With
Yeah, like
like
first appearance
just like
version.
the prison.
Because-
suit. Yeah, it's good too.
Like, was it C27 or whatever has been doing like a ton of like 92
Yeah.
X-Men like
Yes.
prints and stuff, and they seem to kind of be almost ahead of the curb on like things that are going to get released or something. So it's like, do they know? Like, do they know if Dazzler's coming? Because if Dazzler's coming, because they just released a Dazzler,
Yeah.
which is the and it's the roller skate version. So
And they have a Nightcrawler. It'd be nice if they were right about that. I'd love to see Nightcrawler.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
anyway, so what's this ruckus do?
Make it a
So yeah, so when you're making a ruckus as an unaffiliated reactive, when another allied character within range 3 of an allied Juggernaut is targeted by an attack, that allied Juggernaut, not the other allied Juggernaut, may spend 3 power to play this card. After the attack is resolved, Juggernaut may advance short towards the attacking character and make a strike attack
so good.
targeting it.
An extra short move for him is a lot. With
That's
this huge
terrifying.
base.
That is absolutely terrifying.
So
3 power to move short and attack. That's so
Yeah.
good.
kind of an important question here.
That is the same as Mightiest Avenger, isn't it? With Thor,
Strongest Avenger.
Strongest Avenger, whatever it is.
That's his throw. Yeah.
Oh.
For Asgard.
for Asgard. That's what.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't play.
That he just gets to move, which would
That's
be
just
medium
yeah,
and then a
that's just
strike.
a charge that staggers if it does damage.
Would not trigger unstoppable
Right.
momentum because it
Okay.
specifies a movement action,
Correct.
which is I'm sure why they did that. So like you can't trigger it with this card.
Yes.
and other things.
And that makes sense.
Yeah. You spend 3 power, get 2 back. Like, that wouldn't be good.
So initially in the first half of reading that particular card, I expected this to be a bodyguard. And
Yeah, I did too.
That doesn't make sense. Juggernaut doesn't bodyguard people. And then, they got me in the second half.
He's like, oh, my friend, I hit you back harder.
Oh,
I need more tea.
Okay.
But yeah, those
I
are
like
the
that
three.
one too a lot.
Yeah, same.
Juggernaut's on my squad. I'm be hard not to take 2 Juggernaut cards because that and I forgot his throw card.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Having I kind of want both of those for him.
100%. No, I think it's a phenomenal card for him. Effectively 2 free actions off turn as a reactive is awesome, especially if he hasn't been activated in that round yet. Setting him up to really be able to go ham is stellar, just super stellar.
My biggest issue with that card would be remembering to play it. For me.
Correct.
Like, oh shoot, there was somebody attacked within 3. Now they're dead, and now nobody else is within 3 of him. I got to move them all around just to be able to use this card now, because I'll forget inevitably.
It will be inevitable. So those are the 3 cards. What are your thoughts, Big Chuck?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, so I like them. I think I'm too dumb. To use the last one, making a ruckus, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just too stupid for it. I don't know.
It's
Like, I
kind
get
of-
it and it makes sense, but I don't see me in game being able to use it correctly.
The thing that may help you use this and remember to use this is the episode of King of the Hill,
Okay.
where they have that rival group from like an old school and high school where they occasionally taunt each other based on whether their alma mater wins or not,
Right.
like high school football games, as 40 to 50-year-old men.
Yeah.
And when Bill and Boomhauer and Dale and Hank all get together and they like mess up the other, high school places like stuff, they're like, "Do you want to make a ruckus?" And they keep chanting that over and over again. So I think that we can probably add that as a soundbite on the stream, and if people play that to signal you to remember to use that card,
I like
think it'll
that
help
idea
a lot.
I mean, I won't be there till May, but it sounds like a great idea.
Right, that'll be about the time it takes me to get around to adding that soundbite. So I think
Tracks.
we're lining up pretty well.
And by the time I actually get Juggernaut, I mean next year probably.
Yeah, I mean
late.
literally, it'll absolutely be
Yeah.
a minimum of next year.
Minimum next year for us.
So-
Yeah, for sure.
But you had some rosters you wanted us to create.
I did. Oh, okay.
Tell us why. Tell us your thoughts. Tell
Okay.
us your
Tell
grand
me why.
So I thought it'd be kind of good since we're so close.
to each other.
Next, yeah, I'm really happy about it. By the way, what are you? Stop doing things.
I was trying to get my hand in your shot to show how close I was, but I couldn't
Yeah, I don't
reach.
appreciate it. What was I talking about? Oh, so everything. So we have everything out that's supposed to be out by the end of the year.
Yes.
We're getting ready to go into 2022. And when I came up with this, things weren't as bad about traveling and stuff like that. But I thought, what would we do if we wanted to travel to the great, far distant lands of what we like to call the greater New England area?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Us being in central New York, so far away from it, as we were told by the group, why we're not allowed to be in there.
We are literally hour away.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Hour upon that single hour away.
Yes. Yep.
From the New England area.
From the New England area. That I thought, what if we're going to jump in a car, we keep a travel bag with us of like, oh, snap, I've got a quick hour that I can drive to the distant land that is the New England area.
Yeah.
Or, maybe we head west. You know what I mean?
Also to the New England area.
Yeah, to the other side of the
left.
New England area. Yeah. And just check it out. See what's going on. And I said, you got to pack a bag. You got to keep this bag in your car. You got to build a roster. You got to figure out what you're going to do. What, with everything that we have out to this day, I should have made a caveat, but it doesn't apply to you guys. But I did it, which is you have to also have it assembled and painted.
Okay. Done.
Everyone on my roster is assembled and painted.
Yes, I know. You're welcome. But I was very limited when I said that because I don't have a lot of stuff. I have multiple boxes still sitting in Saran wrap.
Why? Just make time.
Yeah, I mean, you little bitch. You know what I mean? It'd be nice if I could, but I'm really busy coaching you. You know what I mean? To get your stuff painted.
So I know that you thought that was a dig at you, but Dan just flipped me off camera because that was a dig at him.
It's weird how you hurt both of our feelings in the process, but you did it.
So damn talented.
Inspired both of your animosities
Yeah.
at the same time. That's what I do here.
It's true. You do it well most of the time. So I said make a roster for 2022. This is a bag that you're going to take around to the greater New England area for yourself. Mm-hmm. What do you bring in? Why? What are you doing? Go ahead, Dan. You're first because I said so.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to go with one where I could field a bunch of different affiliations because I don't like to play the same thing too many times. I can really give myself options. So I started with Midnight Suns and Defenders. And then I was building it. I was like, oh, I just add like one more character and I have Convocation as well.
Yeah.
Throw in that Tactics card. Good to go. So for my 10 model squad or roster, I got Blade, Baron Mordo, Doctor Strange, original, Dr. Voodoo, Ancient One, Hulk, Luke Cage, Moon Knight, Iron Fist, and Wong. So I got and then I realized too, if I switched out one character for an Avengers leader, I can easily do Avengers as well.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Easily build a 4 affiliation roster.
Who do you think your go-to would be for that? Do you think you'd swap out like Ancient One or Dr. Voodoo for like a Sam or a Steve? Or who do you think would be the one you'd swap out to get that 4th affiliation in there?
Yeah, probably one of those two. Another 4, probably for Steve. I like him better in for utility, and with Sam, I always forget to have it go when somebody gets dazed or KO'd.
Yep.
Steve's for me is much easier to remember to do as you're playing, so I'd probably swap out Ancient One for Steve, just because I'd want to get rid of another similar threat. So I tried to give myself a wide range of threats from Wong to Hulk.
Yeah.
And a bunch of 3s and 4s in the middle there. And just because now that we can play Hulk because he's actually decent.
Now that he's relevant, yeah, in any way, shape, or form.
Even for our pickup games, he was just so bad.
Correct.
But now he's solid. So I was like, well, he's a defender. And like throwing him into something like Midnight Suns isn't that bad.
No.
I just realized I think I forgot somebody super important. Because I definitely wanted Ghost Rider on there.
Oh.
Crap. How did I forget Ghost Rider? Well, maybe I'll take Hulk out for Ghost Rider.
Well, I don't know. See, I love Hulk in Midnight Suns.
Yeah,
love
Bump in the Night is so good for him. But
Yes,
it's really
it
good. It's just as good for Ghost Rider. It's in the same size base. But I just really like Ghost Rider, especially since he got powered up a little bit, and he's Midnight Suns and Defenders.
That's true.
He was one of the characters that made me think of doing those too.
Gotcha.
And then I forgot to put him in the list. So I don't know who to take her out.
Ghost Rider being good now with Deal with the Devil is real strong, I feel.
Yeah, because I think for my tactics cards, I even included Deal with the Devil, and I forgot Ghost Rider's not on my roster.
Speaking of, what are the other tactics cards and Crisis Eye that you took?
Well, I got to figure who to switch out for Ghost Rider now.
Well, I mean, some of us had 3 weeks to figure this out, Dan.
Well, I just realized it.
Wong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Wong in general, but I feel like I need a 2-threat in there.
I guess I don't understand why you would make any roster without the longest dongimus of them allimus.
Right? Part of me wants to take out Iron Fist. Like, he's great.
Yeah.
But he's not one of my favorites to use in general.
Breaking news, as we speak, friend and fan of the show, Scotty, is mad at me. Because I don't like Gambit. That's all. That's it. He just messaged us. He's very upset.
Shout out to Scotty, though.
Yeah.
I need some word from chat or people dropping a comment on the YouTube video after we're done being live. So looking at my roster there on the screen, who should I drop for Ghost Rider? Because he's going to be in this list. I just need to figure out who to switch out for him.
I think it's Ancient One.
I kind of think so too, but I want to give her a shot.
Yeah.
I haven't really used her yet and killed her too fast.
Oh, that's fair.
But for tactics,
Punch on the nose.
built mine on Assemble, so they haven't updated it yet to be able to take 10 for whatever reason. I think they just haven't gotten around to it because people doing it for free.
Yeah.
But my first 8, I have Siege of Darkness, obviously,
Yep.
because it's fantastic. Obviously, the bar with no doors, so I can play Convocation. Bats the Ghost Hound, which is cool, and it's got a dog on it, so obviously.
Yeah.
The Ironbound Books of Shumagorath.
It's coming to the MCU.
Maybe.
No, they showed it.
No, it's not him.
No Shumagrath?
So they spoiled it in a Lego set.
Yeah.
And it's called something else. Some other big tentacle monster that was used twice total.
Yeah.
But that could
But
be
it looks
it.
like Shumagrath.
It does. It looks.
It
exactly
looks just like
It
him.
looks
yeah.
exactly like Marvel versus or X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Yes, it does. So that could be a thing that, you know what I mean, where they self-edit pre-release stuff to make you assume that it's not. But I don't think enough people know about Shumagorath for that to matter.
Yeah.
But as of current,
It's like Giganto or something weird like that.
I think it is.
Starro the
Gargantuar.
Conqueror, I believe, was its name. Yes. Yep.
Garganto or something like
It
something
was
weird
something
like
really
that.
stupid like that, and he was in like a New Mutants comic and
Like a Doctor Strange way back in the day. One time. But then I had to deal with the devil because I was planning on taking Ghost Rider.
yes,
Gamma Launch. So Hulk could throw somebody like Ghost Rider, potentially. Or I love like they throw Blade up there too.
Yep.
I really love the idea of Hulk torpedo hucking a motorcycle.
And then it not taking any damage. It just lands fine.
and it looking like him doing a wheelie the whole time too. Like honestly, it's an incredibly cool visual picture of Ghost Rider wheeling through the air, swinging his chain with one hand on the handlebar as Chuck hucks him. Yeah,
As I huck him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
impressed, Chuck.
yeah.
All right, well, I'm definitely not taking out Hulk for Ghost Rider because that's going to happen at some point. He's
Yeah.
going to throw Ghost Rider. And then Seance, Heroes for Hire. So I guess I shouldn't take out... If I take out Iron Fist, I'd have to take out that card too. And then I want to also add some unaffiliated or non-character specific cards so I can fit them in whatever affiliation I go with. Probably Brace for Impact.
Actually, so here's the thing: if you do run Hulk and Ghost Rider in a Defenders list, that's 16 points with just those 3 characters.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But
All right.
it is what it is.
Yeah. And then, I've got 2. So then if I take Brace for Impact, I got 1 other card to play around with. Probably something more offensive.
Bitter Rivals.
I kind of thought about it, but I don't want to.
Those were my 2 restricted were Bitter Rivals and Brace.
Yeah, this seems like the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Bitter's so good. But if this is supposed to just be the roster in your back pocket, I don't want to go this is the best card out there, so I'm going to use it every time kind of thing.
Right.
I was thinking Battle Lust maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
this one with
especially the
Carnage.
bigger boy. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bunch of larger characters. Well, I guess I have a few larger characters, but
Smash too,
it should
Obsession.
be useful.
with Hulk and a couple.
I think
size 3s and stuff.
obsession with Hulk is brutal.
Yeah.
Send him after your opponent's highest threat, and just
Oh, I like the idea.
Yeah. Focus fire.
donkey
yeah.
punch the crap out of people
Right.
like that.
And how about for the old Crisises?
Oh, I don't know how to pick crises for a roster, so I just kind of picked 3 of each that were a little bit different from each other.
What were they?
So, for my extracts, I took the Montesi formula, Research Station attacked, and the Mutant Extremists target U.S. Senators. And then my secures, I took Riots, Spark Over Extremis 3.0, Demons Downtown, and Intrusions Open Across City as Seals Collapse, the newest one.
Every time I hear Demons Downtown, I want to follow it up with Demons Downtown, 3 a.m. I don't know why. I know it doesn't fit super perfectly, but...
And I just tried to take a smattering of the crisis or threat levels.
Yeah.
And mostly fairly different maps.
I have heard they're making their way.
Downtown, walking fast, people passing that are on Incinerated now.
But that's something I could I would love. People have ideas for that in the chat or comments. How do you pick crises to go with your roster? I honestly have no idea how to do that.
You'll find out how I chose mine pretty quickly.
He
think.
randomly picked 3. I'm gonna call it now.
Just the top 3 of each on Assemble?
No, it was pretty direct, actually.
Interesting. Well, go ahead then.
I'm curious.
All right, so for my list, I ended up going with a pretty heavy single affiliation Guardians of the Galaxy list or roster.
Interesting.
So I have Groot, Gamora, Ronan, Star-Lord, Rocket, Bullseye, Drax, Nebula, Hulkbuster, and Sam Wilson.
Okay.
So I like the spammy lists and the fact that with this particular grouping, I can have Hulkbuster in there, and I think I can even run 5 wide with Hulkbuster, which is stupid. Just stupid to be able to do in a tournament setting.
That sounds great. I don't want to fight that.
Right? So I'm super stoked about that. New Guardians is awesome. And all of my all of my Crisis Eye were chosen specifically because I'm going to have a lot of bodies on the field, and I wanted things to pick up and move around and play keep away with. Groot and Rocket playing on their own flank. I mean, they're pretty much a side into themselves, and then I could still have another 4 characters to distribute amongst the rest of the field. So for my secures, I took Gamma Waves, Infinity Formula, and Riot Sparks over Extremis. And for my extracts, I picked Hammers, Montesi Formula, and Struggle for the Cube Continues. I really like a bunch of targets on the field because I can kind of have the advantage there. I have a little bit more movement depending on who I pick. I don't have a ton of throws. My throws almost exclusively rely on Drax, Ronan, and Hulkbuster. But I can play nearly any threat I have, and the main reason for Hulkbuster was to have a big heavy hitter in case I did need to go up against a Hulk or something along those lines. And kind of gives Guardians what it's missing a little bit, which is an unstoppable brick shit house.
And they've got the room to take him.
Correct.
Because they're so low threat anyway.
Yep.
And realistically speaking, yeah, Hulkbuster fits real nice in there.
He really does.
Yeah.
He really, really does, because one of his things is I think he has good mobility, but I've seen the complaint that he can't necessarily get to where he needs to get to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and we'll talk about our game before. It's just like, you have a Hulkbuster out there. What do you do?
Right.
Like, how do you even begin to handle that?
Correct.
Because I did not know. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, so we'll get into that later.
Well, we've seen him on the table like 4 times since we got the model here.
Yeah.
And he's never been dazed. He's never broken.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think I got him down to 1 in that one game.
You
because
did.
It was just like, I forget. I'm not even going to try the snare anymore. I'm just going to try to break Hulkbuster, and I still couldn't.
So, I love him in that particular roster. I think he's a constant threat, and when he is on the table, he is drawing attention, and he is making your character or your opponent play around specifically him being in there.
He's terrifying.
Forgetting that the Guardians are actually pretty solid on themselves.
Yeah.
So, and as one of the
and like then giving him winging it tokens on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So,
Hulkbuster with rerolls?
So as far as tactics cards, I took Bitter Rivals, Brace for Impact as my restricted cards. Deadly Duo, you have to. It is so stupid good. Crew and Lovable Misfits, Marked for Death, We Are Groot. I love the idea of being able to move with hit and run Hulkman Ironbuster around to get within range to be healed by a Groot if he does get close to flipping.
Can you remind us real quick what We Are Groot does? Because I haven't seen that card in a long time.
So, We Are Groot is an unaffiliated active. Groot may spend 3 to play this card. Groot and all allied characters within range 4 of him remove 2 damage.
Whoa!
Yep.
Why don't we see that card more? I mean, we don't see Groot that often,
your intentions are just to have us like outlawed, banned from the New England area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna put my name on that rock, and then I'm gonna shit in the parking lot and finger guns and moonwalk out of there.
That's accurate. Yep.
We also took Trip Up, Kick them while they're down, because with this particular list, I do have actually some pretty stellar access to special conditions. So I like being able to get those rerolls. Only one character has to spend for it too. And then if I do have a target I really want to bring down, like Hulk, She-Hulk, Dormammu, or an affiliation leader, I can really go ham and really, stick it to them.
Yeah.
And then obviously to back up, being able to take out a targeted insurrectionist is Helios laser bombardment, because why not?
If you got the power.
So good.
Yep.
Spirit bomb.
So fun.
So potential changes I could make to this list. Bullseye's in there because I'm in love with him.
And he's a 2.
And he's a 2. I think that Sam is...
Did you take Nebula? I'm sorry.
I did.
Okay.
I did take Nebula.
Yeah, 2 2s in there? Jesus.
3, because of Rocket.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
So
Yeah.
many characters.
yeah, so I had considered maybe swapping out Sam Wilson for regular Iron Man in case I wanted to have that tactical nuke of the Helios bombardment
Without the price.
without the price. And it really fits in making that wider. And Iron Man is very durable. With the invulnerability and 4 physical strength, and he pushes. I don't have a lot of pushes and moves in this. That is its shortfall. So outside of Drax, who is not an auto take,
Fair.
Sadly.
Ronan for me kind of is, but only because I've only had incredible luck with him.
Oh my God, yeah.
But he has a push, and I think he has a throw too. So he is kind of my main mover there.
Like Kree Justice or something, I think he has.
Kree Justice is the thing. That's his explosion that stuns and staggers. His 4 spender.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Universal Weapon gets a push, and yeah, his strike has a throw. He's solid all around, and especially with Mystic stuff kind of really making a resurgence. Having 4 Mystic defense on him is awesome.
Yeah.
And immunity to poison, because he really should be a 6.
Crises?
Crisis, yeah. So I took most things that had a bunch of shit on the board. Infinity Formula and Riot, Montesi Formula, Struggle for the Cube, and Hammers. 5 of my 6, pretty much everything but Gamma Waves, is because there's a bunch of stuff to contest, and I'm going to have a bunch of buddies on the field.
Fair.
And obviously Gamma Waves because I want to send Hulkbuster right up the middle and start fucking things up with Ronan as a backup.
Yeah. Okay. I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually would like to see that team get played out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
Same. Now, granted, it's solo affiliation. I'm only running the one.
Right.
But I think there's enough.
Yeah, but
versatility
also
with that
knowing
particular
you,
group.
well, I don't know. I guess maybe you could. Could you run it unaffiliated if you wanted to?
Yeah.
Would it be worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, because like stuff like Deadly Duo, We Are Groot, Bitter Rivals, and stuff like. There's only 2 tactics cards in there that are secluded to being.
Could you go Sam? Could you go Avengers if you wanted to?
No.
You only have 2, right?
Correct.
All right. 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam is the wild card that could really be swapped out, and very well may.
Right.
For any number of other things. But
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see you putting in regular Iron Man for that. It just seems better.
yeah.
But
Just to have that
I do like Sam.
Yeah, I was looking for someone with a long movement. I don't have a ton of long movement in there. In fact, I have a single character, which is Gamora, who's 4 threat and really...
Nebula.
Oh, Nebula, true. Yes, but as far as being able to run in and pick objectives early
Right.
to get that early lead, which is really why I like to lean on those. So Sam could be swapped out for... Mystique was a heavy contender, actually, for that spot. Or 2-point Black Widow.
Yeah.
And then have 4 2-points to really kind of just absolutely spam the field. Because I assume in most situations, this is a list that could be played very casually. It could be played very competitively and can match in a fun way Sam spam.
Okay. Interesting. I like it.
Vision was also a contender for that spot as well.
Vision
Oh, yeah.
went
Have
on
some-
and off of my roster a lot.
To have that cheap throw and some AoE with his beam.
Fair. All right, so my bag. I went more of just characters that I've really been enjoying and wanting to try more. / I don't believe that Scotty has any idea what he's talking about, and I think X-Force is actually potentially really good.
Okay.
So suck it, Scotty. But I went dual affiliation.
Okay.
I went Rogers Avengers, the musical, and Cable for X-Force.
Okay.
So I've got America, Rogers, Cable. I went Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Just because I really do love Hawkeye, and he is
Yeah.
extremely versatile, and I think he actually fits well with X-Force. I mean, not amazingly, but it fits really well. 2-point Black Widow, because you got to carry a 2 with you, and I might as well take somebody who is affiliated for Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wolverine, which because he covers all the bases, X-Force, Avengers, and I was trying to work in a third affiliation by going X-Men Blue with Cyclops, because as we all know, I'm really big on X-Men Blue right now. But I ended up not taking Cyclops. And I'll kind of get into that. So Wolverine at a 4, Domino to help out the X-Force affiliation, Sabretooth, who I waffled on a lot between Sabretooth and Vision.
Yeah.
And I decided that the long movement was better
Correct.
than the throw, because I can see using Sabretooth in either or.
Yeah.
But I didn't see using Vision in X-Force.
I like both of those a lot. Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're able to set up those beams, having X-Force for that reroll on those is actually pretty stellar.
So, yes, I agree. But also you're looking at, Cable's a 5, Wolverine's a 4, Sabretooth's a 4. So, the only other person I have in there is Domino.
Mm-hmm.
So already X-Force is really expensive.
Yeah.
So trying to then also fit in a Vision is rough.
Yep.
And like I say, I'd rather have the long movement over the non-affiliated throw.
Correct.
I guess, and beam.
Yep.
And then Deadpool in there, because Deadpool really impressed me in our game.
Yeah.
I'll walk back a lot of what I said about the character, although I think I did say he seemed extremely durable, and you guys disagreed with me, and then kind of find out no, he's extremely durable.
Yeah.
Insanely durable.
Well, and
Survived a Hulkbuster
barrage.
face fucking really is what
for
it turned
real.
into.
Well, and the fact that he gets 2 rerolls in the X-Men affiliation, so that you can, in fact, especially after maybe exploding a crit or 2, really get some more leverage out of Bang and Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Yeah. It's pretty good. And then my last 2, Punisher, my own Swiss Army knife. I love Punisher. I think he fits everywhere, even though he's unaffiliated. And then Lockjaw, because I don't know how to run Wolverine without Lockjaw.
Fair.
Yeah.
Being able to slingshot Wolverine is my favorite thing ever. And honestly, slingshotting Sabretooth might be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a long mover who just got hucked range 3. And just, I don't know. I think just in general, Lockjaw being a battery and launching people, Cable getting launched. And then and then if you're running Avengers, Lockjaw being able to do it for 1
Yes.
instead of 2, brutal.
Correct.
Yeah, really good.
And now I'm hucking for half the price, baby.
Correct.
a half price hucking is where I needs to be.
A half price huckin' makes hard the big chuckin'.
We got there. Yep, I agree.
It was a struggle.
Everything you said.
It hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Yep.
Yeah, having the throw in there. I mean, it's only terrain, but still,
Correct.
if I need to do some chip damage, it's pretty worth it.
Mhm.
And the buff, putting
Intergalactic Bloodhound.
yeah, intergalactic planetary. Yep.
Planetary Intergalactic.
Yep. Putting that on somebody to make sure that I can get rid of maybe a Hulkbuster, for instance.
Well, legitimately, especially in X-Force, which is
Actually getting rid of a Thor, as we saw in my last game.
well. And what's the X-Force tactics card that marks a target? Does that
Dirty work.
And what does that do exactly?
It only gives out if we can take out the highest threat character, everybody gets 2 energy. It's not really worth it. It's
All right.
not. I want it to be better. Like I want it to be good. I want to take it.
Yeah.
Eh,
Fair.
it doesn't. Like I don't know. I didn't have problem generating power
Yeah.
because I was just getting donkey kicked the entire game and spiking hard when I needed to. I mean, Cable, I don't know why people complain that Cable's power hungry. That is insane to me. Or power starved even, because I had zero. I was trying to find ways to spend power up with Cable last game. So.
That's fair. Yeah, when you take out Thor with no damage on him in a single attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, when I spiked. Yeah.
That was insane.
That
yeah,
was.
so I don't know why people are complaining.
Yeah.
But
yeah, just roll better.
just exactly. Just do better. I don't understand the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the roster, and then tactics cards. I took professionals because if I have Black Hawkeye and Black Widow on the same team, professionals is dope.
Yeah.
Being able, if Hawkeye does damage to somebody holding a token and then being able to rip it, which I'll get into my other those other things that's going to be useful. Crisis cards, crisis threats. It just seems like it seems crazy not to take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tactical analysis, because as we all know, I tactical analysis is my bitter rivals. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know how to play without it, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brace for impact.
Start taking a time stone on somebody.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would have to play somebody who actually could take a time stone, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I rarely ever do, so. Exceptional healing, cat and mouse, med pack, which are my two restricted cards.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Acute senses, pretty sneaky, sis.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I just don't know if it's going to be worth it. Avengers Assemble and Weapon X Program.
So I love Pretty Sneaky Sis.
Yeah.
Because I love criminals. What's it called? Shadow Organization for Criminal Syndicate. Enforcing, especially mid-combat in that round 2 or 3 where someone really needs to like move in to get in range.
Yeah.
Forcing that is stellar.
Yeah, Pretty Sneaky Sis can be brutal.
Yep.
I like it a lot. And then my my crisis cards. I'm the same way. I don't know how to build a roster around actually having to pick 3.
Yeah.
So what I did was I figured out what my favorite combinations were and kind of figured out an average ish of what their threats would be, and then tried to pick tactics cards. Or not tactics cards, crisis cards built around that.
Yeah.
So, alien ship for red, I picked alien ships at 20, fear grips at 18, and cubes at 17. Being able to kind of grab stuff.
That's one thing I wrestled with was, do I want to make sure I have target-rich environments because I am playing kind of a spammy list, or do I really want to double down on having lower threat lists to really fuck up some of the Hulkbusters or the Dormammis or things out there where, you know, if I could kind of guarantee 13s and 15s and stuff like that, or I'm sorry, 14s and 15s, to really mess up other people when I can still go
right. And I kind of
and
I am kind of prepared for that on the back end, taking Avengers, and then I have a bunch of low threat Avenger characters, a 2, a 3, a 4, another 4, and then kind of filling in with 3s.
Yeah.
Just in case. You know what I mean? I don't think it's optimal, but it's bodies.
Well, and just with Sam Spam being so prevalent, that was kind of one of my bigger reasonings for not going that route, because other people are going to be trying to do it, and I could be playing into one of the big meta. I could be playing into one of the more meta lists instead of building myself an advantage. So. And
I was just listening to House Party Protocol's newest, I think it's the newest episode, where they were talking about kind of like year-end review and the Sam Spam's everywhere, but at the same time, Sam Spam's everywhere, but it's also like people also aren't taking it. People are also just trying other things and kind of being able to find that counter to Sam Spam.
Well, with Convocation and Midnight Suns out, those are both really fun things to play that have a lot going on, and that Wakanda Forever of Midnight Suns is a huge drawing point for that.
They're just objectively better, I think, than Wakanda anyway. Like, Wakanda just doesn't have options.
Well, they have a bunch of melee people in Shuri. You know what I mean? So, like, or I guess Okoye to a lesser extent. But, yeah, there's more versatility in
I think
Suns.
Midnight Suns have more attacks that are just hit harder at 0
Yes.
because they have
And
A5
and-
with Ghost Rider and whatnot.
and their affiliation ability is just objectively better.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to having a movement base instead of I don't even know what does Wakanda even do. I don't even remember.
They can spend to reroll dice.
Which everybody else
Correct.
gets to do it for free now.
Yep.
So, all right. And then my blues are Riot Sparks over Extremists 3.0 at 17, Infinity Formula for 17, and Terrigen Mists for 20. So I don't really know if I'm built to take any of those. I just liked those threat values, and those were literally Crisis that I was familiar with because I've actually played them.
Yes.
Fair.
So
Yep.
I'd rather go play games that I was familiar with the crises than taking things that were more built for my list, but me having to constantly play games where I had to figure it out.
Correct. Yes.
Because that's not fun.
Yeah.
It's I'd rather just pick up stuff that I like. So
I do like the inclusion of Terrigen Mists as one of the ones you chose.
yeah, I like Terrigen Mist. It's a lot of fun. Plus, I have a character immune to poison, so
Correct.
already objectively better.
I thought about taking that one because I wanted more higher threat crises, but I was like, I don't have anybody immune to poison.
Yeah.
Now that I have Ghost Rider, he's immune to poison, right? So I got one.
Correct.
Something like that. Yeah.
And Incinerate.
Well, he doesn't have any lungs.
Is that why you had
Hex.
Demons Downtown?
No.
Oh, okay. The happy
It
accident.
is now.
But okay. So you had a wish list, something or other?
Yeah. So, as we all know, AMG, you're listening, and we appreciate that because we tell you stuff, and then you have it coming down the pipe. And of course, for those of you who don't know, there was some spoilers via the Amazon that Minions are coming. And there's a lot of reports, and we don't know any of them or anything like that of what they actually mean or what they're going to be, but Nick Fury's coming and
Cool.
a new Daredevil, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, Shadowlands Daredevil.
Yeah, Shadowlands Daredevil is dope.
Yeah.
Isn't that what yours is painted as? With the black
Yes.
suit, with it's a bit inverted, where his suit is black, but like the DD is red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's also super dope because I don't know if you ever read the Shadowlands thing, but Ghost Rider's like, I'm coming, I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna punch him in the face. He has this coming, blah blah blah. Shows up and gets punked like a little bitch in about 5 seconds, and
Like
I was
Daredevil?
Daredevil pretty much just punches him in the face and it's over.
I don't
It was
think
so-
about Shadowlands Daredevil.
It was super. It bummed me out because the whole issue is him like, all right, he brought this on himself. I'm gonna show up. I hope he appreciates this.
Is Shadowlands Daredevil the one that broke every bone in Bullseye's body when
Yep.
he snuck into his hospital bed and just beat the shit out of him?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty dope.
I
Yeah.
have to say, I'm really surprised we're getting a second Daredevil before getting Elektra, or that it's not a
Elektra's
second
ninjas.
Daredevil and Elektra box.
Isn't it?
I thought it said it was hand ninjas.
No, I think it's
No, it's
Shadow-
Elektra's ninjas.
So it doesn't sound like Elektra then.
Oh wait, really? I missed that part. That it was Elektra's ninjas.
I think that's what it said. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Shadowlands Daredevil and Elektra.
So I'll find the picture real quick.
But anyway, so AMG, we know you're listening. This is what I'd like you to do. We've been talking a bunch about equipment.
Yeah.
Equipment cards and things like that. I don't want that, and I've been thinking about it and mulling it over for a while, and here's why. When we look at gems,
Mhm.
I realize that we are... it makes it very hard for us to look at a character without the gem. That we constantly are repeatedly saying, hey, if you're not taking the space gem on, insert character here, well then it's just it's just hard to play that character, or they need this gem, like Thanos, for
Yes.
instance. Bare bones Thanos doesn't work.
Correct.
Bare bones Thanos doesn't exist, right? Stuff like that. So I've been thinking about how I want equipment without getting equipment, I guess. And I think them releasing expansion packs, because I wouldn't want to say a booster pack. That'd be insane. The connotations alone.
And the connotations does
Yeah,
carry.
just ridiculous.
Yep.
But if we released tactics expansion packs of 10 cards that are designed for each character, like individually or maybe together, maybe it's like whatever 2 characters were in the box, you get a tactics card pack for that.
Yeah.
Of just 10 cards. And the brainstorm I had was Hawkeye's arrows. He only ever is able technically to shoot one, right? So why would he get equipment for a bunch of extra arrows? So they're tactics cards that come out that you take within your roster. So you have to decide whether you want it or not. But they're 10 cards. Each card is a different type of arrow. So he gets to do this special attack or he can do this ability. And it's based around his arrows. But every character, or every box set, I should say, gets additional cards specific to that box set as an expansion and building without incorporating yet another mechanic that would fundamentally change how we play the structure of the game.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't necessarily want body armor or whatever and look at it and go, ugh, I don't know how to take Moon Knight without his body armor, or whatever.
Right.
Insert that, or I don't. So I could see a thing where it's a tactics card that maybe you have to equip it to the character. So Iron Man gets Mark 44 armor, and it gives him this additional ability, but it's a tactics card.
Yeah.
So you're taking up a slot that is a tactics card, things like that.
Okay. So instead of costing threat,
Right.
takes up tactic cards.
It takes up a tactic card spot, and maybe for him to be able to use it, it never gets discarded. It's attached to the character. So kind of like what we're seeing with Convocation, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't get discarded, but there will take up a tactic card slot, and it costs power to do the ability or something to that extent.
Okay.
So almost giving him an additional superpower.
Yeah.
I think would work a lot better. Now, this was my idea. And spoilers, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't seen Hawkeye yet, spoiler.
I haven't seen it all.
Oh, well, you're screwed. You're about to get it ruined for you. So when Hawkeye shoots the Pym arrow, like in the air and fires it, and it makes the giant thing, I want a tactics card that's the Pym arrow that when a allied character throws an object, you can double its size up to size 4, and it counts as the tactics card. So essentially, somebody hucking something gets to increase it, the size of it. And so it's only one shot. It only happens once.
I was going to ask if it's still just one time.
Yeah, because it's a tactics card.
Okay.
So once he uses the arrow, it discards, right? So like it wouldn't be an equipment, equipped to it or like that, but it's in your roster. Once he uses it, it's done. He doesn't get it back. But being able to take like a size 2 car and then immediately make it a size 4 car, I think would be super dope.
Oh, yeah.
And then also go on that reverse wise, like same card, so you have the option. Somebody is targeted, they throw it, you get to reduce the size of it down to 1. So like essentially he shrunk it. Or maybe he just negates the throw altogether.
It's like plink.
Yeah, it just becomes nothing. This was like my brainstorm idea. I was like, why doesn't Hawkeye actually have all of his cool, dope arrows that we're seeing in the show? He kind of does with like being able to choose a condition or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that, I don't know, that Pym
I
arrow.
like having it be something really bombastic and crazy.
Right. I like the
other
idea
than
of a
shock.
Pym arrow. You know what I mean? And we're not gonna get that, I don't think, otherwise. So that was my kind of like my new wish list. Is I want, and there's endless possibilities now, right?
Yeah.
To make taking characters that would, like, because we had been saying maybe you don't need to fix the character card, maybe you just need to give them dope tactics cards to be paired with it, unless you're Tim, who doesn't ever take that apparently, according to me. I like that idea. I super like it. Thoughts, feelings, suggestions, other wish lists, maybe a Quit Inquire.
Yeah, Quentin Quire would be sweet.
Yeah.
Quick Fire's Psychic Shotgun could be one of those cards.
Yes, absolutely. So I do feel like there's probably a lot you could do with that and flesh out into other things as well. I do like the idea of additional equipment or abilities being tactics card slots because I don't know. I kind of battle back and forth with that. Whether I want them to be one extra threat or a tactics card slot is I don't know if I favor one over the other. I don't think I do. So
my fear with the equipment is then you have to go in and say who can and can't take this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like much like the gems, and then it becomes, well, man, I wouldn't. Who's going to run Star-Lord without the power gem? You know what I mean, kind of thing. And I know that if they changed the rule about it, and now people are like, I don't know if I want to take it. I think that rule only hurt taking gems personally.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people now are saying, well, now I'm just not going to take it because I don't want to have to always run 6-threat Loki.
Right.
Because why wouldn't you run a 6-threat Loki? Or no, they finally changed
5-threat Loki? 5-threat?
No, well, the Space Gem, but they changed it.
Yeah, they're all
okay. Yeah,
right. It's actually somewhat similar to how Wolverine's a 7th threat with Lockjaw.
Yeah. Literally it. Yep.
But I had kind of an analog idea to that as well, where you could potentially, and maybe this doesn't cost anything, maybe these are just things that you can apply to characters. That would be either cards or abilities that swap out existing things on the character card, and they lose X, Y, or Z to gain X, Y, or Z.
Oh,
so
really customize them.
Yes. So you don't need new character cards. You don't need new anything outside of you have this card, and it says Hawkeye loses trick shot, or trick shot, or
Hook arrow.
Hook arrow, but gains, maybe it's some health or defense or another attack or another superpower, reactive or innate. And you can kind of mix and match with those things by removing and adding.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. That's a great idea you had, Justine.
Thanks. It's the purple.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
I'll have to message Justine, make sure she knows that we appreciate those good ideas she has.
We really do.
Anything else, Dan, that you want to talk about?
I was trying to think of another example of that, like, other than, like, switching out Iron Man armors. Like, get rid of Invincible, but give him something else, like Rocket's nimble, where he has like extra repulsors on his suit, so he dodges out of the way real easily. So instead of just tanking damage, he just doesn't get hurt by collisions.
Having characters to, say Wolverine, at certain points he's lost his healing factor, being able to remove healing factor 2 from Wolverine in addition to having, an additional attack die on one of his attacks, or bleed happens automatically instead of on a wild, something along those lines. I think you could really play with some of those finer points. Because
I can see, like, it's feral Wolverine.
Correct.
So he loses his adamantium skeleton rule, but I'm not sure what to replace that.
Gets long movement.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because when he was feral Wolverine, he would just Berserker all the time, or like it would reduce the cost of Berserker Barrage by 1 or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
I like that idea a lot. Really customize the character, but don't change the threat of them.
Correct. Yep. So that they're always the same, but you can just adds a bunch of customization options without really adding balance stuff.
Yo, AMG, you're welcome.
Yeah, for real.
Boom.
More aggressive Daredevil that loses radar sense, but gets a gun.
Yeah. Fair.
Wait, what?
Why not? Anything else?
He can't get tinnitus. Oh, wait, he can. He's blind. Sorry.
What if we had a card for the Hood?
Yeah.
Like you could give him magic guns.
Shut up.
It'd be so good.
I don't even want to talk about Chuck.
He loses his possession, but he gets magic guns. Bow, bow, bow.
So stuff like that, yeah. An Ant-Man that grows instead of shrinks. He loses the ability and all of the reactives that let him shrink or take reduced damage, and then he can grow instead.
I feel like something like Giant Man instead of Ant-Man needs a whole new character, though. Probably. I think that's a bit much there. But I like where you're going.
I'm sure it's coming down the pipe.
Oh, he better.
Right.
I want a Giant Man.
We need a new Black Widow before a second Ant-Man.
Do you think we'll get a situation where it'll be Hank Pym, though? Hank Pym as Giant Man?
Yeah.
Instead
of Goliath.
Or Goliath.
One of those, yeah.
Right, or whoever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or Yellow Jacket that can grow huge. Doesn't have to be Darren Cross. Yellow Jacket.
I like Darren Cross, though.
Yeah.
The actor was very good in House of Cards.
I liked him in this, is it The Stand? No, that's the Stephen King thing. What's the vampire one?
The Strain.
Yeah, The Strain. I thought he was good in that.
Blade 3 Trinity, I think is.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yeah, that was him.
Captain King K. Rool.
Yeah.
Why did we
right.
get to video games? What's happening?
Do you want to play? Do you want to talk about our game?
Yeah, so
got time?
we played a custom crisis this past Monday.
Loved it.
On
good.
the Power Phase.
Glad I was here for it.
I
was back, baby. One game, one night only, from the sounds of it. But
you were back. We played a custom crisis that was a Christmas crisis, set on Map A, and was a secure objective rather than an extract. So we had been trying to look for a while for a new way to play on Map A. And specifically, the only thing that wasn't available for every map type was a secure on Map A.
Because AMG's not going to do it, apparently.
Correct.
2 years later, and we still have one crisis for Map A.
So we played a custom scenario where, same setup, where each side had a Christmas tree and a sleigh. And the Christmas tree was on the outer edges. The sleighs were on the center edges. If you controlled your tree, at the end of the cleanup phase, you could move your sleigh. You can move it short.
Oh, you had to control the tree to move the sleigh. I thought you had to control the sleigh. I missed that.
Nope.
Explanation.
So yeah, I don't know why that works, but in the initial scenario I made before I put a Christmas theme on it, you were controlling like a battle bot that was like a bomb disposal robot. So if you were controlling your sleigh, you healed 1. If you were controlling the enemy sleigh, you gained 1 power. If you got your sleigh to the enemy tree, you got 4 victory points, and then you got 1 for securing both sleighs as well as both trees. The trees also gave you a snowball attack that was strength 5, range 5, 0 power.
I think we both forgot that existed.
I don't think you ever used it all.
Well, we were beating the shit out of each other on our tree.
That's true.
And but
violently beating each other.
Very violently.
I forget that when you and I play, it becomes a bloodbath.
Yeah, it usually does.
So if you use that attack, it could only ever do 1 damage. Very similar to, it was pretty much a Shuri attack, where if it did more, it just did 1 instead. But if it did damage, you could push him short. The premise of having that snowball attack on those trees on that kind of payload style map was to give the defender on their own side kind of that last little bit. You can kind of throw that snowball to knock people off of the sleigh, kind of those last minutes, that like crisis mode before it gets to you and they score all those points. It never really got there. The sleighs didn't end up moving all that much. Chuck had a saber tooth sneak into my back line and literally just fuck up everyone that was around.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
In addition to an absolute kill mode cable that obliterated in a single attack Thor from full health. Holy shit.
That was when I wanted to rewind it, but it was live, so I couldn't. I was like, wait, did that really just happen? He just take
I don't know why everyone is bitching. I still say cable's OP.
Yeah.
Completely broke it. I've been saying it for years, and no one listened to me, and then I went and proved it. Made the God of Thunder his little bitch boy is what happened.
Yeah, he really is anymore.
Just roll better.
But so you were running X-Force. You had who's your roster?
My team was my brain. Cable, Domino, Sabretooth, Deadpool. And there's one more person I remember, unaffiliated.
Sinister.
Yeah, Mr. Sinister. That's right. Because I really wanted to try Mr. Sinister, and I really wanted to try Cloning Bank.
Yeah.
And like X-Force is kind of built for it because there's so much healing factor in that affiliation. I was like, well, if there's a time to play Cloning Bank, it's turn 1. Or I'm sorry, Force Extraction. It's turn 1 and just yanking it from everybody. And if I could have realistically figured out a way to fit Wolverine in there, then it would have even been better.
Yeah.
Because I would have gotten 3 genetic splices right off the bat.
And that's the first time we've actually seen Cloning Bank get pulled off.
Yeah.
Game.
It's a trap.
I didn't
We'll
bother
get into
when
it, but it's super a trap.
First used Sinister. I was like, he's complicated enough for me. I don't want to throw in that as well.
Fair.
But I really like Forced Extractions. I think I had a similar list. I purposely put a bunch of people with healing factor, I think a Nebula near him, so he could just take their stuff and they would heal just fine. I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Didn't you get Nebula from the Cloning Banks?
I did.
But then it was like the last game I played against him, as soon as somebody showed up, he just took him out, right?
Yeah, Nebula showed up, and then he proceeded to make him just eat so much dirt.
Yeah.
I
Strange
mean,
being size 3 as a target for me to huck around for free, effectively, with a 2-point shield slam on Captain America was real nice.
Yeah. My plan was to send her in to get rid of Captain America, and Captain America was like, "Not this ass, not America's ass." Yeah. He was like, "I'm literally gonna smash your brains in all day," and proceeded to very easily. Yeah. I think cloning Banks is an absolute trap.
Yeah.
I don't see the point in it. By the time you have enough in there to bring in somebody worth it, because you need six genetic samples.
Correct.
To make a 3 come in, unless you're gonna Okoye.
Minimum third round.
Yeah.
To pull in a 3. I mean, minimum third round to bring in anyone. Really.
Right.
It really all depends on how many genetic samples you get in round 2, because you guarantee the 3 in round 1.
Right.
But
I don't. Mr. Sinister needs something. He needs to get tweaked a little bit. He either needs to be a 3 threat, just reduce him by 1, and I think he's super good.
maybe
or
even at the start of the power phase, he gets a genetic sample.
He relies on those so
He
much.
really does.
Yeah, his entire card is based around him.
Yep.
He can only ever have 3 too, which I think is because especially when he
So-
has a beam, he can get a bunch, and then he only gets maximum 3, and then that is how he gets his damage reduction and everything. He should just have healing factor 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like anytime
Or-
you see him, he just puts himself back together.
Raise the limit. Raise the limit to 5.
Yeah,
Like
makes
allow
sense,
him,
too.
because if you're setting up that beam, I mean, I had 4 people. Did I have 4 people lined up for it?
The most you ever got out of it was 2.
Was it? Okay.
Because
Maybe I was trying to
You
do-
had some friendlies in that.
Yeah.
as
that's-
well.
Oh, that's right, because we figured out that it doesn't apply to friendlies.
Correct.
Yeah.
He can't gene splice somebody
Yeah.
friendly with the beam. So I really like Mr. Sinister, and I really want, but you if he is a 4 threat, I expect to be able to do all the things that he can do for him.
Correct. Yep.
And you can't. That's why I'm thinking just make him a 3 threat and he's perfect.
Yeah.
And then it makes a lot more sense. But he is good. Like he is good. But I definitely think that cloning Banks is an absolute trap.
Yeah.
By the time you get something good enough, it's not worth it. So I would still take force extraction. I'd get rid of cloning Banks and then throw in, I don't know, maybe pretty sneaky sis.
Yeah.
That's my only other thought.
Well,
Did
and
you use cat and mouse?
I used a turn 1 to move
Okay.
up Sabretooth.
Oh, Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I couldn't remember. I think I missed the.
I know a lot of people use Cable, but I liked the idea of closing that gap and getting Sabretooth turn 1 into your line.
I like it on Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Because it usually guarantees that with his long movement, he's getting to a point and getting an attack off.
Right.
Round 1.
Yep.
So I do like it there.
Yeah, it's good.
So I played Steve Rogers' Avengers with Cap, Hulkbuster, Thor.
Yeah. Because you want, because I
Cyclops.
challenged you to run the Trinity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I ran those 3 and then Cyclops. Cyclops did better in that game than I think he ever has for me before with a double optic devastation.
And you were running Rogers.
Yes.
Avengers. You never once. I mean, were you trying to set up optic devastation the whole time?
No.
Interesting. So you never field marshaled or whatever it is.
I did not.
The one where he gets to move, tell somebody to move.
Correct.
Which I found very interesting, but we also didn't need it because we were kind of all automatically right on top of each other.
Yes. So that was initially one of my thoughts was like, oh, when Steve Rogers Avengers, field leader's actually pretty solid. And I think I tried to do it in one of the first turns and I was like, oh shit, no, it doesn't matter at all. So
Right.
like that, and I forgot to reduce the cost of a couple superpowers I used on throws and hit and run and stuff like that. So it was just like, yeah, that it was not my most well executed game, but thankfully those rolls on the optic devastation were hot. I was able to get 2 off and dazed a character and killed 2 or something with it.
You did back to back, didn't you? Didn't you back to back optic devastation me?
Yeah,
Yep.
that was a nasty turn.
Well, to be fair, I literally punched you real hard to get you there.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
he was
took,
injured.
Yeah, he took a beating.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, our game is super bloody.
Yes.
I don't know the counter to Hulkbuster
Yeah.
because Hulkbuster hits like a truck.
Uh-huh.
He can get to where he needs, especially if you're playing something where you're going down the middle of the board, so you can close that gap. running from him doesn't like that. Those scenarios did not work for trying to run from him.
I think statuses does it. He's not immune to really anything.
Yeah,
Slow,
I guess.
slow, poison, shock, and
But you got to
all
get
stellar.
so unless you're running Hawkeye to be able to from a range do it, you got to get close to him.
Yeah.
And when you get close to him, he meteor punches you in the face.
And not even that
Correct.
close. His meteor punch is range 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meteor punch. I think he needs the tiniest tweak. I think meteor punch should be 4 power.
I think he's perfect.
I think 3 power is not enough
think-
when he gets 2 a turn.
Perfect is also how I would describe him.
I haven't used him yet either. I
Yeah.
haven't got. I haven't
He's
finished
so
painting mine.
good.
He's awesome.
I mean, and I was worried about figuring out how to bring him back. I've yet to get him broken. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've yet to have to ever worry about that. So I don't,
Right?
I don't know. I mean, Hulkbuster's stupid good.
Yeah, I think you condition him up and then focus fire him. I think that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And it could take 2 full rounds to do it, but then you're taking out 6 threat.
Yeah, true. And
Wow.
I just was so not prepared for it too.
Potentially.
You know what I mean?
And kick him while they're down, especially because he's not immune to much. So
Yeah, that's
kick him while he's down. You put a couple things on there. You get a bunch of rerolls.
Does he mean to anything?
I think he might not be.
I don't think he's
immune
mean
to
to. I don't think he has
he is.
any immunities.
Yeah.
Poison? No.
No.
I'd make him broken.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Poison, I think, actually goes a pretty far away on him because you really want to be meteor punching and.
Yeah, shutting him down, not being able to get power.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Actually,
He's
poison
not.
might.
He's not immune to anything.
Poison might not affect him, actually, because it's a separate ability that gives him that other power. So he gets 2 power a turn, but poison would still let both of them go off his regular power. No, he loses a power.
You just straight lose a power in
Gotcha, I
the
was
power
thinking
phase.
stun it.
So you'd only gain 1 in the power phase, which is still still limiting. I think stunning him is good. Giving him stun and then beating and incinerate,
And
then beating the snot out of him.
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
You
jug.
wanna-
No, never mind.
Also putting Hex on him because you are going to crit with Meteor Punch.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Huh?
So I think putting Hex on him too is
Yeah.
it's slowing down his ability. Or what's the other one? The Repulsor Blast or whatever it is that he has is super cranked up too.
Granted, he's a big boy, but forced movement, if you can get him pushed and stuff, that wasting his actions.
Doesn't he have a
like,
counter to pushing? I thought he had
No.
a counter. No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well, yes. So if you, I think built to take it prevents him from being somethinged.
Cannot be pushed as a result of special rules during this attack. If you use built to take it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
To reduce it by 1 and not be pushed. But it's only if it's an attack, so superpowers can still push him.
Yeah.
No problem.
right.
Yep.
So realistically speaking, you
I mean, Juggernaut can throw him long, So.
yeah.
I want
Oh,
to see
shit.
that.
yeah.
Just throwing that giant thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. So the counter's there. He's just not out yet in this.
Is
Right.
Juggernaut
Yeah.
size
Poland is wrecking Hulkbuster right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poland.
Do you
So
think
jealous.
do you think that we're going to start seeing situations where we have to have cheese in the back pocket prepared for Hulkbuster if we're traveling?
Because he's so expensive. I don't know. I think when he's out there, he's a threat, but he's a commitment.
True.
That while you can't really ignore him,
Yeah.
like you could, well, you used to be able to with regular Hulk. Yeah, I think he's one that I haven't necessarily figured out how to deal with either.
Right.
So,
Okay. Anything else, guys?
no, I think that's it.
Sweet. Go see Spider-Man if you haven't yet.
Oh, it's so good.
I was it was very good.
Oh, did you want to talk about Monday's game real quick? Well,
Yes. Yeah, so this next Monday on the Power Phase over at Twitch, twitch.tv/professional casual network, Danny and I will be playing a special New Year's resolution game.
I love this idea.
I'm
I'm a little jealous that she said yes, that she would play.
So what we're going to do is it's a custom crisis where you interact with a couple objectives to pick up a New Year's resolution. It's only for that single character. We've come up with a list on the Discord. I asked for some help there too and got a bunch of great feedback to add even more. So it'll be a pretty solid deck of cards. You pick a card and you get victory points based on fulfilling that resolution. Resolutions could be things like just getting damage through on attack, blocking an attack, throwing something, throwing someone, applying a special condition, shaking a special condition, having a special condition on you, not being Wolverine.
Being Bullseye.
Being Bullseye is another one. If you are Bullseye, it's very easy actually to complete that particular resolution. You'll be able to shed resolutions that you do not want to be able to complete by paying some power during the power phase in the following round. But outside that, you have one resolution at a time, and I think it'll be a blast. It's going to kind of have that random fun factor that like the Symbiote organized play kit had, where sometimes you're going to get lucky and you'll be able to complete it. I'm going to add a lot more wacky ones in there too that we can kind of have a lot of fun with. But yeah, I think it'll be an absolute blast.
Are there going to be like objectives around you have to interact with to get a resolution?
Yes.
Did I miss you? Did you already say that and I missed it?
I did. Yep. So there will be objectives that you interact with to pick up the resolution.
Hey, great.
But yeah, I think there's still some. I don't know if this is a cool enough one where it doesn't need to be played with another crisis or not. But I think a special one time a year type deal could probably make it a little bit more wild and make it all encompassing.
I think if you can get it up to like 20 different resolutions, it could potentially be its own thing.
Yeah. Well, realistically, I mean, honestly speaking, play it like it's a organized play event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Where there is only one crisis and it's this.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not because we've seen it, right? Vibranium Heist was the same way. That thing that you just said, separation anxiety was that way too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
I want to play that again.
Yeah, actually, it was a lot of fun.
I remember everybody getting mad at each other. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we all got mad at Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one thing that I always.
Here.
I did that one thing that I always tell myself not to do. I'm a target anyway. Whenever I play a group game, people are going to seek me out specifically. Don't make yourself even more of a target.
Yeah.
And then round one, I made myself a huge target.
Yep.
In addition to most likely probably already going to be targeted by people.
Yep.
So
it's true. We all had a separate chat and we agreed that we were going to go after you right off the bat.
It still didn't work.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
But I mean, when you come for the champ, you need to come hard.
That's accurate. Yep. Anything else? That it?
I think that's
good to go, baby.
Gonna be everything. Oh, make sure to come to the tournament at beardeddragongames.online, but in person at 19 Ford Ave, Suite C, Oneonta, New York. Oneonta, New York 13820.
Or check our Facebook where you can see the event page for all the information.
Come play with most of us. On January 2nd.
Right now it's scheduled for 1 p.m., but I think I'm going to talk to Anthony about moving that up a little bit.
To earlier?
Yeah. I think it's a little late to start.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be there all day.
I have to work.
Shit, that sucks.
Yeah, there goes your TO. Wargaming Dad, we're going to have you zoom in, all right?
He's already TOing a different tournament that day.
He can do both.
I think Anthony's more than capable of TOing that event.
I want Wargaming Dad. He's the most important character on this show. We all know that.
Definitely out of the power phase.
I don't
him and Ravensguard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be pretty dope. So come hang out with us. Come say hi.
Come have a pint afterwards.
Yeah.
Anything else? That's it.
That's it.
Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you. Stay safe.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.